Hello and welcome to the new playtest, the first playtest of a new World War II skirmish rule set developed by Carter Hall and Edward Edwards, designed to simulate company and battalion level World War II actions, where each base is a squad, heavily inspired by Artie Conliff's Crossfire, but with a different resolution system for pretty much all of the key mechanics other than the initiative, movement, and yeah, that's kind of the two things that are kind of kept, initiative and movement, and everything else, shooting, artillery, has been changed in the name of creating a more historical outcome that relies on finding, fixing, and assaulting to drive enemies off, and reducing the kind of crossfire stalemate known for fans of the original game. So we're going to do a playtest of a World War II scenario that you may have heard of, or maybe not, called Kraut Corner, and this was in the Battle of St. Lo. A full-strength American company was looking to expel a shelled and demoralized German company from high ground in a small hamlet of Clovy to the east of St. Lo, and this was a tough company-level battle for the 2nd Infantry Division, and this was nicknamed Kraut Corner on the approach to kind of the bluff overlooking on the east side of the city. So this is the assault on Kraut Corner. We have an American company in this game. Each base, using Flames of War size bases for this playtest, is a squad. So these three bases right here, 1, 2, 3, form one platoon. These three form the second platoon, and the three right there form the third platoon. A little bit of armor support. And we have here on the German side, we kind of open up this building right here. On the top floor, we have 1, 2, and then a third squad and their platoon commander here. We have a reduced strength second platoon of just 2 squads, and that is it for the core formation the Germans have. But the Germans also have 1 machine gun team in this building here, and 1 Panzerschreck team right here, hopefully to help them out with fighting off this American armor. So let's get started. We're going to start with the Americans having the initiative, and the way this game's going to work is that everyone's able to do whatever they want and move as far as they want on a turn, up until the initiative is taken usually by failing an action, or the opponent successfully doing an action that will seize the initiative. So starting off, I think the American company commander will try and get a little bit of a flank action going here by doing a group move and moving this first platoon here kind of around the side of this first bunch of hedges, moving in here. The thing that we'll also talk about is one of the key things that's been changed in this edition is that being open is a little less lethal. So this is a lot of terrain for maybe some war games. This is a little less terrain than should have expected in Crossfire, the initial rule set that this is inspired by. So now that we have a movement where the second weakened platoon can see here, as well as here, moving in, we're going to resolve as they're moving in this combat. First, we're going to resolve, because it'll be a little easier both to explain and go through, this entire full strength platoon. So by default, any squad that's rolling is going to be rolling 2 dice, but they're going to have all of their squad between the windows and the building on both floors be able to coordinate their fire to attack this group move platoon as they're going. So what they're actually going to do is, instead of rolling 2 dice and looking for a specific result, they're going to roll 3 dice, and they're going to drop the lowest dice. And that's going to be the advantage of firing as a group. But stay with me here. Because they're in terrain, they're not in the open. It's a little harder to shoot them. That advantage is gone. We're going to go back to 2 dice. So in some ways, 1 squad shooting at 1 squad will be the same as a group of squads shooting at a single one in the open. So they're looking for a 6 below and they fail, and they're actually marked that they can't fire anymore as they're reloading. A 7, 8, or 9 is they've suppressed and they will put a counter. And a 10 or above is the squad is killed. So we're going to see what we get on this roll. This is a good roll. They got a 9, so they've actually suppressed the edge. This is enough to flip the initiative over. And we'll be pulling up. Probably should have done this before, Aaron. And they have been suppressed. And the Germans are going to seize the initiative. They successfully have done so by suppressing, slowing down the Americans. And now the Germans can can make their move. The Germans are kind of already in a relatively secure area, but what they would like to do is continue wearing down this platoon that's going to hit them. So the LMG is a 45-degree arc of fire, not able to actually shoot. It's pointing out the window here. So if there's a great move up, so that maybe they're going to try and do a group fire here. So the platoon here is going to try to kind of keep doing a group fire on this platoon that's moving in, but they're going to be shooting at the middle one to keep trying to perhaps bog down the Americans. So again, normally a squad against a squad would be 2d6. If you're shooting a cover, you're going to roll 3d6. You're going to drop the highest number, which is worse for you. But because they're doing a group fire into cover, those cancel out. We're back to rolling just a plain old 2d6 for simplicity. And they're going to be shooting at the middle squad and seeing how they can do that. All right, so this is actually a great result. We're rolling really hot for the Germans right now. It's a 6 and a 4 for a result of 10. So it actually kills one of the squads. Their concerted fire of the platoon, despite the cover of the hayfield, kills the American squad. We've already had our first casualty of the battle. They're going to keep going. They're going to say, all right, good luck. We're going to try and get the other squad here and see what we can do. And they're going to get a 5, 6, 7s. They will also suppress. They will also suppress here. Here's the other rule that's a little bit of a change. Is in the original Crossfire, there's pins and there's suppressions. Here, there's only suppressions. And if you're going to be shooting at a suppressed unit because they're hit the dirt, they're taking cover, they're not poking their heads out, it's much harder for them to shoot, but it's hard for them to be shot at as well. A little bit of a kind of a modeling altogether. A company commander cannot tell his troops to hit the ground, so they will be hitting the dirt, and now this entire platoon is actually way down. So now the Germans say, you know what, maybe it's actually time to, let's give Crowd Quarter the nickname it deserves, and it's time for us to move out a little bit. Perhaps we can even get an assault off or push out. So what the Germans are going to do is move this weakened platoon. They're rolling hot now, and they're going to move this platoon right here like this. They're going to move it into the hedgerow here, which actually puts them in line of sight of this platoon. But this platoon, they're going to give it a try because they might as well. But they're suppressed, so it's -1 for them to shoot. And we're going to try with a squad right here at the leading squad to see if they can interrupt them from moving up. So they're rolling the 2d6 plus a third d6, and it's actually -1. The odds are pretty tough of anything happening, but the Americans will give it a go and see if they can no fire. So unfortunately, the highest roll, the 6, has been dropped because of the shooting into cover, and we're at a -1, so we actually rolled equivalently snake eyes, so nothing happens. And I will put a no fire, little American penny right there, on the closest one. So the other squad's gonna try the same thing, and we'll see. You know what? The other squad will wait. They're gonna hold their fire in case they decide to charge. The Germans are kind of measuring up. They're feeling pretty confident about this now, but they know if they charge, they're actually going to be crossing this kind of a little bit of a line of death right there. A squad will be able to shoot them in the open. So for now, they're going to hold on. They're going to hold on to this strong point. And the Germans here are going to try and group fire and maybe see if they can shake out the units in the bush. Again, 2d6 are going to drop one, -1 here, and we'll see where we go from there. So they got a great roll. The Germans have been rolling hot. They got a roll of 12. We're down to an 11. That means they're going to kill another squad here. And again, if they've failed this roll, then they would have tasked with the initiative. But they're still feeling good. And they're -1 again to target the suppressed squad. And they're going to keep it going. Got a 6 and a 7. So normally this would actually keep the initiative, but it's not because it's a -1 on the suppressed squad. Down to a 6. The Americans get the initiative again. At this point, the Americans are getting a little mad. They see that the Germans have pushed up a little bit. They're feeling we got a little bit of something to prove. So they're sending the tanks down. The tanks will be coming in, and they'll be coming in, and they're if it was not playing solo, they'd be kind of asking if you have any reactions to be going. But they're going to be sending their tanks in, and they're going to be kind of lining up on the road. And the first tank is going to be perhaps trying to bust open this little advanced German party that we have going on right here. And we'll be firing the main gun. And the main gun on a tank can be moved and shot, unlike there's rules that influence these rules in Crossfire, as many times you have activations for. The 2 dice to roll in this case, you're going to be firing into cover, which is the same kind of roll, but the main gun of a tank with its high explosive will be getting a +1 modifier. So a little bit of a bonus on this 2d6 roll. We're going to see what's going to happen here. And actually, this is a great result because we had a 10 on this roll. They're firing into cover. I completely forgot to roll the third dice. So we'll see where this goes. And they got a 1. So this is not as good because the 6 will be dropped. The 4 and the 1 comes up to a 5. Even though it goes up to a 6, it doesn't enough to keep the initiative. So the Germans are doing really well now. So the Germans are going to do is they're going to move their, they've taken the initiative back. They're going to move their Panzerschreck unit right here. They're going to move right into here, and they're going to try and fire off a couple of rockets down the road into the leading Sherman. The way that the armor and penetration works is that every tank is going to have a main penetration value for when they're firing an armor, but their main gun will penetrate, and that's a positive or perhaps negative modifier if it's a very terrible weapon. And they're going to have an armor value. The Panzerschrecks in this scenario have a penetration of +3, but the Shermans actually have a value of +3 as well. So it's a flat roll because they cancel out the -3 armor of the Sherman, cancels out the +3 roll. Let's say that the Panzerschreck was a +4 for some reason, then you'd be actually rolling a +1 because you would have +4 -3 comes out to a +1, but in this example, it's going to be a flat 2d6 roll. And they rolled hot. The Germans are rolling incredibly hot. The turret, blows off. They get a lucky shot. Every tanker's worst nightmare, and now we have a smoking, smoldering crater. The Germans are feeling great. Here's the other thing the Germans are going to do is I'm going to rule that they're feeling good. But they're still not really wanting to risk going over here, so this squad's going to keep on kind of shooting this advanced American outpost that's kind of moved up on them. So worth, even though it's a risky roll, giving it a try. 2d6, they're firing as a group, so plus a dice, minus a die, but it's -1 for the suppressed monster. And they got a snake on a snake eyes, so they give up the initiative and it's back to the Americans. I forgot to take the no fire mark off from a while ago. The Americans are feeling a little bit of the pressure here. They have tried 2 different angles of attack, and they both ended in a little heartbreak. They say, you know what, we're gonna think through another angle of attack here. They're gonna move up. First, the American commander's gonna find the die he dropped, but the Americans are gonna move up. They're gonna come up here. They're gonna kind of scooch their way around this way. I'll rule that once they touch here, this is the line of sight breaker, and this is where the combat will go. So they're going to do a group move to kind of go 1, 2, 3, which lets the platoon in the building see them. Now they're going to get a reaction fire, plus and minus again on the closest one. We'll see what they get. And they get a 6, so that's not enough to stop. Because they fired as a group and because they have failed, they're going to get a no fire on the building. So this is actually a great opportunity for the Americans to start pushing in here. That's actually a really good opportunity for them. The Americans are going to use one of their fire missions to try and land smoke right here, perhaps for an assault. So they're going to roll on the 2d6 chart, and they're looking for a 7 or above here. And they got a 6, which is a little painful. So they did not get it off. It's okay, the Americans have moved up. Perhaps they've wasted their opportunity, but they're trying their best here. So this platoon in the building is going to once again keep firing at the lone guy over there and see what they can do here. And they got another suppression result, which is enough to not give up the initiative, but does not have any effect. One suppression is in this game. All you can take. This would be an 8, of course, -1 to a 7. If you notice, I've not actually tried to rally over here, and that's mainly because I could risk giving up the initiative as the Americans, but also having someone over there anchoring, even if their heads are down, I think is relatively valuable, and I'm prioritizing other game actions. So the Germans are going to keep going, and they're going to move their Panzerschreck unit to see if they can go here, and they're going to move into the woods to try and see if they can, or into the field, excuse me, to try and shoot the other Sherman. The Sherman is going to use its machine gun in a reaction fire. So the machine gun is similar to the HMV up here, going to roll with a +1. But it's going to roll 3d6, dropping the lowest number because it's in terrain. So 3d6 dropping the highest number. And unfortunately, that's very poor. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter, but there's a no fire marker on the Sherman. So they're going to try and pop off a shot with their Panzerschreck looking for a flat number. And they got a 4, so they actually failed. The rocket goes arcing wide, and it's back to the Americans. And now they're really looking to put the hurt on. So I actually realized looking at this that they probably could have had a shot here if I was paying more attention. They would have gotten them as coming in. But you know what? The platoon is going to be, this nose of the tank might be the key to the assault. So the platoon that's right here is going to make a group fire to roll to try and dislodge the Panzerschreck team here. So it's just 2d6 flat between the terrain and the group fire. Ooh, just skin of the teeth there. They're going to suppress the Panzerschreck teams, but definitely a lucky one there with the ones. They're now suppressed, and they're -1 to shoot and be shot at. The other Sherman's going to use its main gun to see if it can get a good roll and start suppressing the guys in the field. So they're going to be rolling 3d6, and they're going to subtract. They're going to subtract the highest result, but they will be getting a +1 to the total. The tank will be firing. Again, the Americans are rolling pretty poorly in this scenario. We're going to take out one of those 3s at the highest. 4 gets you up to a 5, but that's not enough. So the Germans are back into it. I think the Germans are going to try and rally because they really want this Panzer Grenadier to be working. So they're going to be rolling a 4 up on their regular quality check to see if what they can do. I missed, but I missed the dice tray, but I got a 5. So hit the numbers. They pull off, and they're going to try and shoot once again at the tank there. Straight roll. It's a 4. So once again, this they're cracking under the pressure. This Panzerschreck team. The Americans are back in it, and they'll do the same thing. They're going to try and first suppress the Panzerschreck team. Flat roll. They got a 5, and there's nothing. So we're back to the Germans. The Germans are feeling good now. The Germans are feeling good. They're going to do that shoot back on the tank, and they actually got it. With a 10, they blew up the other tank. I think at this point, we've kind of demonstrated a little bit of the odds of the game and what has happened. I think the Americans are feeling a little bit roughed up. They've lost one of their 3 platoons, and I think they might be, the counterattack was successfully pushed back. And for the sake of this example, Kraut Corner has been held for another day. Thank you.